Yeah, we're live. All right, on top of the roof. Yep, this is the pre-show before the notifications go out. It's my favorite part. And we are live. Yeah, here we go. And I'm gonna turn this on and turn this down. And yeah, and I tell you what, now I can see what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see if it goes. Is that the right way? Yeah, that's the right way. Yeah, okay. I have my little Xiaomi battery-powered light up here, and it does, all kinds of colors. But I got it on white for this live stream, and actually, I'm gonna do this because I don't want to be like completely, unlit. Local time here, ladies and gentlemen, is 2:47 a.m. And this is probably one of the latest times I've ever come on, my time for live streaming. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea if Joey or anybody else in the States is on, because I have been up here since around, I don't know, maybe 11 p.m. my time. I've been working with a telescope. Now I have this is the Celestron 127 SLT, which is a Maxitoff Cassegrain compound telescope. It's really nice, 6-inch, and it's amazingly clean and clear images, and the Macs are known for being really stable. I got the StarSense auto guider, and I've been out here tonight. This is the first night. I've had this auto guider for 2 weeks, and it's ridiculous. This is the first time I've even seen stars on this roof. There's a lot of them tonight. The thing is amazing. The StarSense auto guider is like a small telescope, bolts on the side of it, fits in the dovetail, and it has its own computer system in it, and it has the entire celestial sphere in memory, as like photographic plates, basically, as rectangles or quadrangles, if you want to call them that. And so what it is, I got the whole thing. I got the Wi-Fi module and stuff, so I can connect to the telescope with my phone. The phone tells it where we are from GPS. The phone tells it the time and the date. So it knows, and then, so it knows where it is, knows what the time it is, and I tell it to align, and it just, shoots a picture of the sky and matches it, and it does it 3 times, and then it knows where it is, and it's really amazing. But the problem is, and there's always a problem, the problem is the StarSense auto guider has to be calibrated to the telescope, because it's pointing at the sky mounted on the side of the tube, and they might not actually line up. And so tonight, that's what I was trying to do. And I the first couple days I had it, it was cloudy, and I would have a clear patch, and then the clear patch would move. I actually got the thing with it more than 50% cloudy. I actually got it to align 3 different times, but that was it. I couldn't do any calibration. So tonight's first time, And the other thing too is the moon is too bright, and I'm in the city. This is like a Bortle class 7, I think. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And so the process was just painful. But finally, I started to get alignment with Arcturus, which is set. Saturn is up. Saturn now is back. She went away, for the most of the end of the winter, and now she's back. And end of the winter and into spring. Yeah, so I'm gonna yawn if you guys don't mind. Yeah, it's like I said, it's 2:51. My goodness. reason I'm staying up a little bit later, and because I did want to live stream. I really did want to live stream. And where's that button? There's a button on this thing. This is my, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I wanted to live stream, and because Sunday night's when I usually live stream. And I also want to wait until Mars clears the stupid building over there. So it's probably going to be another hour. And when Mars clears the building, I don't know, I may run downstairs and get my DSLR, because I do have an adapter. And just see what I can see. But now that the AutoSense, alignment system is working, and it's also a guider. So once you get, locked onto some celestial object, then in the app you press start guiding. It's really cool. Actually, I can do this. Why don't I do this? Put this down over here. Can I reach that from here? No, I can't. Of course I can't. No, I gotta get up. Yeah, of course I have to get up. This tablet is connected to the Wi-Fi network of the telescope. And I know I'm out of the frame right now, but let me tell you what I was looking at earlier. I was looking at the asteroid series. I mean, that's how cool this, this telescope is. But right now I have, this is all set up. This is real time. This is what the telescope, this is what the sky looks like. And right now I have it centered on Mars. And so Mars, let me see, right this second, Mars is 13 degrees, 16 minutes above the horizon. Now it's 13.7. So when you are out in the field doing field engineering, and you hold your hand at your arm's length, and you make a fist, and you look at the size of the fist, okay, from top to bottom, that's roughly 5 degrees. That helps you a great deal if you're doing field engineering, trying to figure something, the elevation, you know where the horizon is, and you guys like 5, 10, So if I just go over here, basically I know where the horizon is, and I just kind of go 5, 10, 15. Yeah, it's not quite. Plus, I don't know exactly. North is that way, It's going to east. So we're talking like maybe 105 degrees. So yeah, there's some water tanks and stuff on top of that building. Who knows? So yeah. Yeah. Okay, azimuth, it says azimuth is 80 degrees, 32 minutes in the east. So what I was saying about that building being 100, so if it's 80, and I don't know, it might actually, I don't know. I could be completely wrong about the building, but one of the ways to do it, and what you got to do is you have to move the telescope so it is east of where you want, west of where you want to go, so it moves east. Otherwise, it'll just keep spinning around. So here's what I'm going to do. You'll see the telescope moving. Let me go ahead and put this in high speed mode, and it's now moving around. And I'm holding this button on the tablet, and it's actually pointed kind of high. So let me, while I'm at the same time, press the other button and bring it sort of down, right? Okay. Now what'll happen is, if I even remotely know what I'm doing, you'll see the crosshairs come into the onto the screen. And let me just see where they are. Oh yeah, they're over here. Okay. See, these are the crosshairs from the telescope, right? Come on. There we go. There's the crosshairs moving, across the screen. And so let me go ahead and center Mars. There you go. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the telescope until it is west of Mars. Mars is the little red thing in the center of the screen. Okay. And so now, all I got to do is press go to, and she's going to do her thing, see? Mars is in the center, it'll go up, and it compensates for backlash. It actually goes past the object and goes back to it. It's kind of like tuning a guitar, It works better if you tune up to pitch rather than tune down. And it is star sensing, and it looks like it's, we don't have any comments, boy, nobody's watching. It looks like it's not, it might be having trouble seeing. And one of the things is this light maybe throwing it off too much too. And one of the things I can do is, hang on a second, it's going to look kind of funny, but there you go. No, there you go, there you go. Now here you go, there you go. Now we're in night mode with the Xiaomi lamp. I'll just put it right here. Let me go ahead and move this thing over this way a little bit more and tell it to go to Mars and see, because the light may have messed it up. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty far east. Nope, stop. It overcompensated. It does that sometimes. I'm still getting the hang of how this thing works, and none of the directions that I've seen or none of the instructions talk about this. Okay, now it looks like it's going to make it. It didn't. Now it's star sensing, so it's actually looking at the sky, at the stars, and trying to get a sense of where it is. And now it looks like it's going to go. And according to how the crosshairs were lining up early in the evening, this is not aligned. But I'm going to look through the viewfinder anyway, because you just never know. Thank goodness I got this mic, I don't have to worry about that. So let me just take my hat off, and I'm going to look through the viewfinder and see if she's in there. No. But the problem is, it's like right at the, no, I guess I'm not on the building. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the manual adjustment buttons to move the telescope to where it should line up with the, the crosshairs. I guess that's called a reticle, like theoretical. Yeah, so, okay. If I move it like this, and I go up a little bit. See, the thing too is if I do it manually and I get it centered in the viewfinder, I can always have it. I can always press calibrate. So let me see. Small steps, little tiny steps here. Ooh, is that it? No, I don't think that's it. Hang on a second. And that's not it, because it's not red enough. And I'm serious. Mars is like blood red, man, when you look at it. It's unmistakably, it's unmistakable what it is. Okay, for some reason, we don't seem to be aligned anymore, and this is very, discouraging, because it was a couple of minutes ago, before, I'd say about 30 minutes before I did the live stream, I was looking at stars, just points in the sky, and also Ceres, the asteroid, and it was dead center, man. That's not Mars. That's a star, because it's blinking too much. planets don't blink unless you've got really bad atmospherics. Planets are pretty steady state, which, you know, ancient astronomers just using the naked eye could tell the difference between a planet and star. Okay, I don't see this anywhere. I just don't see it. It's not there. And now I'm just doing a search, which I don't like to do. Come on. But hey, that's what you got to do sometimes, you know. I was able to find Saturn, though, doing this. And it's like, oh, do we have it? Oh, sorry, no, that's just a refraction. Nope. Let me go this way. And where is it? Where are you? Can't show it to you anyway because I don't have a USB tap. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and try to align on another star. That, yeah, because, gosh, this is really discouraging. All right, let me do this. I'm just going to tell it to go to that star. All right, let's see what happens. And do we have any comments? Probably not. Nobody's watching, but that's okay. Oh, no, we do. Oh, Mike, how you doing? Sorry, I was away from the camera, and I was away from the phone. I didn't see it, but all right. So I have the telescope now lining up on Deneb Kairos, but it may be behind the building, and if it is, I'm going to go to another star. Yeah, that's the problem. If it's behind the building and it's trying to star sense, it'll never find it. Okay, is it behind the building? No, I don't think it is. It's also not aligned. Gosh, this is discouraging. I had this thing all set, you know, it was working great. Everything was lined up just so well. And now she's way off, and I don't know why. Come on. Come on. Yep, I'm just inching up towards where I think it's supposed to be on the, crosshairs. All right. Well, there's one big elephant in the sky, and that's the moon, and that's hard to miss. So if if we go to the moon, then I'm just gonna search on the moon. There it is, and we're gonna center it. We're gonna go to, oh, there it is, and then that way I can tell how far off I am and what's going on. Part of the reason I think that it's malfunctioning or not functioning up to par is because it's just not very dark here. You know, I mean, it sees stars that I can't see, obviously, with my naked eye. But even so, I mean, there's not enough stars out to even make constellations. It's a full moon, you know, it's just not conducive. So here's what's going to happen. This is going to align, and it's star sensing now, and I'll just show you. It's, it's saying it's star sensing, and then see it moving towards the moon. Let's see where it stops. Okay, that's not aligned at all. It's lost the alignment, and I don't know why it has lost the alignment. But the moon is big enough that I can find it again. Yeah, it's not even in the viewfinder. If I go this way, getting brighter. Yeah. Yes, it is. Oh, it's getting a lot brighter. Oh, here we go. Well, that's coming into view. Oh my goodness. And so now it looks like, yeah, it looks like, okay. Now I can't press calibrate on this because the StarSense auto guider doesn't work on the moon. It's because it's too bright. You know, it needs just, okay. So here, all right, now you can see this is, the moon is completely like centered in the viewfinder. So you see how far this is off. You see that the bullseye is below and slightly to the left, which means more or less, I mean, it does shift in a circle, but what it is the distance will remain constant. In other words, it might be there or there or there or there. So you could set up like a search pattern. So let me do this. I'm just going to try this again. I'm going to go back to full speed. I'm going to put this thing back around so it is west of where Mars is. See if I can grab Mars now using this new information. But it's a shame this thing is drifting. It should not be doing this. That's what an auto guider is for. An auto guider is designed to correct, you know, for this. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's a computer system in it and a telescope. You know, there's a handset and stuff. And when I just use my dot finder and I pick 3 stars in the sky and I align with that, it's better. It stays. So I don't know what's going on with this StarSense auto guider, but I will tell you this. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get another little dovetail accessories thing, and what I'm going to do is put the dot finder and keep the StarSense auto guider on. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is using the dot finder to set the telescope up, and then once it's aligned, I'll just turn on the auto guider so it guides, you know. And the whole beauty, though, of the StarSense auto guider system is that it aligns the telescope for you automatically, and that's the problem. That's what I want it to do. Okay, so Mars is a little bit higher, you know. Actually, yep, I see it with my naked eye now. Wow, it's really dim, but it's there. And so, yeah, she's star sensing and missing it by a mile. Okay, so I know where to go now, and I'm going to go, come on, I'm going to go over this way. I'm going to look in the viewfinder anyway, see what happens if I pass by it, but I don't think I will yet. Yeah, this kind of things happen, you know. I've looked at a lot of, oh, there she is. Got it. Okay, nice and red. Oh my goodness, this is great. Now I got it. Boy, that helped. And what it is because it's in a different part of the sky, it's actually oriented different, but like I said, the space, you know, it's like a compass. The space is the same. I mean, the distance is the same. Just a little red point of light. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press align and calibrate. And it should recalibrate on Mars. Fantastic. And if it likes this plate, that says it couldn't plate solve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a line and just try to get a plate solve for alignment. It's really low on the horizon. There's a lot of lights down here. I can understand, but I have it centered, and it's not very clear. Anyway, I'm going to an island this weekend, and it's going to be very dark there. Okay, it failed. I'm going to press this button to see if I can start guiding and see if it'll track. I can see the disc, though. It's very faint, very tiny. I'm using my lowest power. I didn't use the Bahtinov mask to focus. I got a pretty good focus. my eye's pretty good, you know, for that. Anyway, yeah, so it's guiding all right, and I'm using the controls on the pad. Now let me just show you, because you saw how the moon was, the target, excuse me, the bullseye was to the lower left. Now we see that the bullseye is to the lower right of Mars, but it's the same distance, so it just kind of goes around. So it just depends where you are. You're talking about a sphere that you're trying to resolve, or trying to navigate rather. So yeah. Anyway, on the island, I'm going to be there for 4 days. So I got 3 good solid nights, and that means I'm going to have a chance to really. It's super dark. As long as the weather cooperates, I'm going to have a chance to really try to get this thing calibrated and set up to work. So since I turned tracking on, I walked over to the camera, and so now yeah, it's tracking all right. It's almost dead in the center. I'm tempted to go get my DSLR, except I don't think I would have very good success on that tonight. But now let me show you something else that's cool. Supposedly this will do it, but I have no luck with it. See this object here? This object is moving really quickly in real time. That's a solid rocket booster. You know, it's a artificial satellite. See how fast it's moving? And supposedly, when this thing is set up and it's dark and it can star sense and it really knows where it is, you could track that and actually look at it with your eye or photograph it. That'd be pretty cool. But those things, they haul. They go fast. And yeah. And they're really, really faint. There's no way, you know, I could see that. I've only seen one time here at this house in Taiwan. It was really one of the rare times when it was dark. There was no moon, and it was very clear, and I just was laying on my back looking straight up, and I kind of cupped my hands around my eyes, you know, and I saw an extremely faint, very fast moving satellite. So I see them very rarely, but you know, I used to see the ISS here all the time. This is tracking very well. This thing has not moved since I've locked on and turned on tracking, and it keeps saying it's calibrating, and it's calibrating. I mean, I'm getting a you know, notification says it's calibrating, and then it'll actually give me the tracking error. Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm going to try something, because I have no idea if this is going to work. But I'm going to very, very delicately and very gently take this eyepiece out and put my high power eyepiece in without, I mean, I'm really like not putting any pressure on anything. The set screws, I don't really tighten them all that tight, because, you know, it's facing upward. Just gonna drop this in there. Just barely tighten these. I'm gonna see if we have the planet in the viewfinder. Oh, and we do. And all I gotta do is adjust the focus slightly. And oh yeah, I'm resolving a disc. It's very tiny, still tiny though. Now, I've got to be very careful. I'm going to put this on sensitivity 1. I'll turn off the guiding just for a split second. And if I just tap this, I can move it down a little bit into the center. This moves really slow. Actually, it's too slow, which is good. So I'll go sensitivity number 2. There we go. There we go. And then we're going to do this, just tap, 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 tap. Okay, beautiful. I'm gonna turn guiding back on. Yeah, so we're guiding on Mars on the high power. If I had my camera, my USB camera, I could probably resolve some surface detail like I did with the Jupiter. I took some video of Jupiter, and that's what you do. You take video and then you use software that takes the individual frames, and stacks them into an astrophotography stack. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Oh, by the way, let me just show you because it shows tracking area. It says it has right ascension and declination coordinates. Here, let me pop this thing out so I can hold it. If you look right up here in this upper right-hand corner, it says tracking error, and you can see what the tracking error is, and that it's making up for it, and it makes up for it by actually looking at the planet. Now, what's bizarre is it's kind of an after. I don't know how they do it because, well, I guess it really does. It understands which direction these objects are going to go in, but it just seems kind of like if you're chasing something, it's not going to be an easy thing to accomplish. But the auto guider works, and I've seen people with really big telescopes like the Edge HD, and they, my goodness, they were they were doing deep sky photography, where they might have the camera open for an hour or something. Just really magnificent looking stuff, right? So what I'm going to do now is what I didn't do before, and that's leave the tracking system on. So now we can track it for sure. But I'm going to see if it continues and stays in calibration because, like I said, I was looking at Ceres over here, the asteroid, and I turned the tracking off, but it should still, have. It's a computerized telescope, and it still should track, just not auto guide, which is a higher level of precision. But for some reason, it just, I don't know. It's kind of weird how Celestron operates. Here's the bizarre thing: is this handset handle here? This computerized system. It's got the buttons are lit up on it in red. You see this thing here, right? This knows that there's a StarSense auto guider attached to it, but it is too stupid to even know that the telescope has been aligned. It keeps asking me to press a button to align the telescope. The telescope's been aligned already for 3 hours ago. And I don't know. The other weird thing is that even when I'm connected to the Wi-Fi module with the phone, and the phone has the GPS, coordinates and the time and date. If I'm using this handset, it still doesn't know the time and date. There's just something really weird about how Celestron does stuff, and I don't know. I don't know how. I have no explanation. But if I was to use with the StarSense auto guider on the telescope, if I was to use the handset, to do the alignment, I'd have to tell it the date and time. I'd have to tell it the coordinates and everything, even though I'm connected to it by Wi-Fi. So, but when I connect to Wi-Fi and I turn the app on, it says connect and align, and that's what it does. And all you have to do is point it generally towards north with the tube horizontal, and then press go. This is a very nice night. I'm looking forward to a week of fasting Today I bought a new mask and snorkel, which, gosh, I haven't had one of those, a set of that since I was a kid. Grew up in Florida. Avid snorkeling, it's amazing. That's what I'm going to be doing. Going to do a lot of snorkeling over there. And I bought some fins and mask and snorkel. I got a new set of like 50 what do they call it? FPS? I don't know. I'm talking about the sun protection. And I basically got like a surfer's outfit, and I'm covered from, my neck to my ankles. And partly because I'm an old man and nobody wants to see me bare-chested at the beach. They're my family and stuff, But I got a dive case for the Pocket 3, and tomorrow I'm going to get the dive case for the X4. I think you guys know, maybe you know, well, I don't know. I haven't been on since last week. I skipped Thursday, but I sold some gear, and I think I mentioned this from the 7-Elevens last time I was on. I sold some gear, and I bought the X4, and I'm going to be using the X4 with Rob Kilo, and some of the shenanigans we're going to be filming. And the great part of it is, sorry, the mosquitoes are out now, and I should have brought a fan. Fans are great. They use them in Thailand. You go to a restaurant outside, they blow a fan on. It blows mosquitoes away. It's brilliant. But yeah, the thing about the 360 is you just set it up, and sometimes you don't even have to hold it. You just put it on a stand, off to the side, and it captures everything around. So, oh, excuse me. Sometimes you just need that extra perspective, and you're like, oh man, we should have shot that, and like, well, let's look at the 360, and then you can reframe it, and it's a little bit weird. Sometimes it might be hard to get it to de-warp, but there are ways to do it. Now, the interesting thing is, I really need to do a video on this, but I don't have much time. I really don't. It takes time to do it. But I've been researching how to edit Insta360 videos in DaVinci Resolve, and now I got it. And it's so easy, but you have to follow these procedures. And what screwed me up was getting the Insta360 files out of the camera and into DaVinci with enough resolution, with the highest resolution, and that's the key. And you can't use project mode in the Insta360 Studio, because project mode doesn't give you access to, not only does it not give you access to the native resolution, it doesn't give you access to the render queue, which is really weird. They need to fix that, because anybody, they want to be able to edit a project and then send it to the render queue and then have it render later, maybe work on several projects. So if you're not using project mode in the Insta360 desktop app, then you have access. But if you use project mode, you can't. Now here's the thing, with project mode, you're limited to 4K resolution for export. Big mistake. So you have to use non-project mode, and there's no actual, as far as I'm able to tell, there's no actual name for that. So it's not like you can say something positive like use this mode, use this thing. You have to say don't use project mode, which is kind of weird. And when you don't use project mode, three things happen. You get access to the render queue. You also are able to jack the bit rate up, as high as possible. You can even export in ProRes, which is what I do. That's really the way you should do it. That's the highest resolution. But the other thing is, because you're not using project mode, then it doesn't hijack the name of the file and try to name it the same as the project name, which I like, because then I end up with files that are like, the only thing different is the file extension, but I know where they came from, which is important. So I need to do a video on it, but I'm really tied up this week. I don't think, I'm working on, I got to get Robert Monahan's song done. I've been, gosh, I've really been torn over this thing because I put some drum tracks on it, and the drum tracks are really interesting and they're really complicated. But I don't think they add to the tune. I really got to talk to him about this. I think the drums are just, I might end up doing two different mixes. One with drums, one without. But I did some really great orchestration on it, and I think it doesn't need it. It sounds a lot like the Moody Blues, one of my favorite sounds, but wasn't trying to sound like them. But Moody Blues does have, they do use drums, but this tune is a little more, I don't know how to describe it. It's a folk tune, but it's not folky, All right, here's what I'm going to do. I've been yakking for a while. I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk over there. And I'm going to see if Mars is in the center of my eyepiece on high power, which is 9 millimeters. It's a 9 millimeter eyepiece. I'm going to see. Are you still in there? No, you are not. And I'm going to look at the tablet because I put the tablet to sleep. That shouldn't affect it. I mean, the app told the auto guider to do its thing, and it shouldn't, have lost it. Oh gosh, it's way off. How did that happen? Yeah, this thing is like, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I know where to go. Crazy, man. Just crazy. Still haven't cracked this yet. I don't know what's going on, but I should be able to. Okay, I think I got it over enough. Yeah, I think I just need to go up. And this is harder because I'm on the high power eyepiece, and the high power eyepiece has a lot less field of view. Yeah, what happened? Come on, man, this thing just, yeah, I know the Celestron mosquito Wi-Fi has no internet access, dummy. It's a telescope. Yeah, if I get this in this eyepiece, it'll be a miracle. I need to go back to the wide angle. So there are issues going on, and I just don't know what they are, and it shouldn't be happening. And I got to tell you, I'm disappointed because the potential is so fantastic. So maybe the thing to do now is to find it again, but leave the app open. I mean, I can't believe that it's the app that's causing us to, to do this. So come on, do something, will you? Sometimes it just doesn't look like it's moving. All right, I think it wants to go that way. I found it before. You just never know. Okay. It wants to go this way. I'm about to give up because I just I got really discouraged when, oh, there it is. Hold on. Yeah, it's a good thing I kind of know what I'm doing. Come on. Come on, baby, go up there. All right, what am I going to do? I'm going to refocus this. Okay, and I've always had really good, I don't want to say luck, but I've been pretty good with. I had a telescope since I was 12, and I understand how they work and the field of view, and you move the telescope one way and the planet moves the other way, and kind of stuff. Now, anyway, I got Mars just about centered. We're gonna do this just a little bit. Come on. I gotta turn the tracking off because it's, the guiding is what's making it hard. So now I start guiding, and it's in almost exactly the same spot as it was, before with the bullseye off. Yeah, I can see Mars now with the eye, and I can see Saturn too. Jupiter's gone, it's not out. Neptune and Pluto were out, but Neptune is way too. I've seen Neptune once, and I think I saw Pluto, but don't quote me, because these objects are ridiculously faint. And you just, you're fooling yourself. And the problem is there's background stars. You're looking, to infinity, basically. So, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I have this tablet set so it doesn't go to sleep. I have to press the power button to get it to go to sleep. I did that on purpose because so I'm just going to set this down with the, and it's showing me the tracking error, right ascension +2, declination +1, and it's all over the place. But anyway, yeah, I'm just going to let it sit. I'll put out the kickstand. And come on, I'll pull out the kickstand on this thing, set it here, and then, yeah. But that sure is convenient to have that app, but it's really weird that it doesn't like what you do on the app. The computer system in the telescope doesn't even seem to understand what it is you're doing. It's just, I don't know how, I don't know. Anyway, I'm taking my camera with me, my old Nikon. The funny thing is, I got a Nikon D7000. It's a APS-C, right? 16 megapixels. For video, it sucks. There's no stabilization, no in-body. I have a Sigma lens. A lot of people don't like Sigma. I love my Sigma lens. I have a 28-200 for APS-C. It has in-lens stabilization, but the stabilization makes noise. It makes like it goes like right kind of sound, and it shoots 1080p 24 frames. That's it. You're stuck. There's nothing else. There's no slow motion. There's no higher res. But I bought the camera in 2012. What do you expect? But it takes great photos, and I got the what do you call it? An N ring. Anyway, I got a ring to with the nose on it to attach to the telescope. And there's a couple ways you can do it. You can take the eyepiece out and put the camera in. It becomes the eyepiece, but there isn't much magnification. And the adapter that I got has a barrel that goes with it. If you want to use that, you can take it out, or you can use it, and the barrel is big enough to put one of these eyepieces in there, and you can even adjust it up and down so it's closer or further away from the objective lens on the, it's in between, right? It's in between the focal plane of the camera and the front lens of the telescope, and then you can also focus on the telescope. You can't focus in the camera because the lens is off. You take the lens off the camera and you have to use the camera in manual mode. But with the, I've taken like during the day because it's a lot easier to see. There's a big tower over there. It's the Mitsubishi Tower. It's their elevator test platform, and yeah, I took some pictures of the the neon sign on it and the vines crawling up and stuff, and with an eyepiece, in the adapter, and with the camera, the DSLR looking through the eyepiece, that's the way to go. But I don't want to set it up now. I even like moved this thing 1 millimeter, and Mars is gone. So the problem is I have to figure out how to solve my aiming problem, my alignment problem. And maybe it's just to go back, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I really don't know. I got more research to do and I just don't have much time, and I'm kind of sick of it, I don't want to buy anything else. I bought enough. The AutoSense, StarSense Auto Guider's $800. It's crazy. I had to buy a port splitter. On top of that, I bought the Wi-Fi module earlier, and then I bought the telescope too. So yeah, I've got, no, let me see. Yeah, I got probably 1,400 USD, not to mention shipping, into this thing. So yeah, I don't feel like spending any more. And you guys got the update on my weather station after 52 days. Finally showed up. It's on the roof. It's working. But I have an extra one because they assumed this was lost in the mail. And before the replacement for the replacement arrived. The replacement arrived 52 days later. No notice, no nothing. And I gotta tell you, my tracking app still is tracking it. It hasn't even been marked by the Taiwan Postal Service as having been delivered, and it was delivered last month. Go figure. It is just weird. Yeah. So, let me see. Oh, I can see that the tracking has moved. Yeah, we are out of position. Let me show you what I mean. We're out of position because it's the bullseye is directly under the planet, but it should be off more to the right. Yeah, see, it's actually to the left. So, yeah, this isn't working. This is making me mad. I mean, disappointed. Okay, drop my hat. This should not be doing this, guys. This should be working. Yep, sorry about that, guys. Well, that means that if I was going to use my camera, there's other software too, other control software, and I may end up using it instead. But here you go. Got it. But I don't always want to have a stinking PC hooked up to everything. I just, when I was a kid, I'd bring my telescope out. I got really good at, like
knowing what to look for. And yeah, then I would just go out and, come on, will you move? There you go. And I got really good, like finding planets, stars, and nebula. Like the Orion Nebula is my favorite when I was a kid. Still one of my favorites now. But it's like, man, oh man, it's crazy. I'm gonna see if I can do a calibration, and I'm guessing it's going to fail because that part of the sky is polluted with light. And Mars is, yep. Oh, this is okay. Oh, wow. It's okay. So let me do this, and I'm going to add a regular alignment plate to it. Oh, wow. It passed the calibration. That's bizarre. Which every time you calibrate it, it should really lock on to that object. So it added a star sense reference. Okay, so I'm going to say start guiding. Wow. Okay. And it is. Wow, it's very close to the center. Very, very close. Okay. Interestingly enough, yeah, it's almost directly underneath it. Now, let me turn the guiding off for a second. I'm just going to try to nudge that over slightly towards the center a little more. Yeah. And then if I press up, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that's slightly to the right. Okay. But thing is when it's calibrating, things are moving. It takes, 20 seconds, but okay, it's calibrated. And move to the bottom. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move it back up just a little, This should be natively tracking better than this, though. This is a computerized telescope, and they generally, will keep the object in the center of the, or, at least within the field of view over an hour's time. Most people use these telescopes for, observation, not for photography. So they're looking at things optically, not photographically. So here it's tracking, and I can't really tell if it's moving. I mean, I can imagine that it's moving, so that's the problem. I can just imagine that it's moving. Let's try something else here. Search sun and planets. Oh, Jupiter's out. Let me take a look at Jupiter. I didn't realize. Okay, it rose at 3 a.m. and it's only 4 degrees above the horizon, so it's not even. Yeah, forget it, man, because it's like yeah, I can't see that. It's 4 degrees east. Yeah, there's a bunch of buildings there, but what I can do is I can go back to Saturn. And Saturn is fairly high in the sky, so let's go ahead and we'll just do a go to. And we're going to see it go over there. And I'll show you, it tracking to Saturn. And this is going to be a pretty good test to see. You see the bullseye coming up? Saturn's in the center of the screen, and let's just see where it ends up. It should end up in that same kind of general distance away. And now it says it's star sensing, so it's stopped for a second, and it's taken a plate. Of course, I guess I'm not standing in front of it. That's good. And, ooh. Wow, that looked pretty close. That might be on the planet, because I got to tell you, before I started the live stream, everything that I was looking at, it went right dead to it. So we'll see. And oh my goodness, it's right dead. Saturn is dead center in the middle. I'm going to turn this red light down. It's dead center in the eyepiece. Oh my gosh, that looks beautiful. Oh, the rings, and I can see 2 of the of the Galilean moons. Oh my goodness, I think it's just
fantastic looking. So if I press this and I start guiding, question is, it says it's calibrating. One thing I can do is I can align on this and calibrate on this, and just to reiterate the calibration, because it was, wow. Did a great job. Yeah, that's right
dead center in the eyepiece. That's so close to the in the center that if I were to just pop the 9mm in, it would be there. So here's what I'm going to do then. Just as an exercise, I'm going to move the telescope back so it's west of, come on, oh, I got to turn the guiding off. So it's west of Mars, and have it guide to Mars and see if it puts it in the middle of the eyepiece or not. And if it does, I think we're good. But I still don't know why it's not tracking the way it should. I may have some setting incorrect. I don't think I do. Anyway. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Sun and Planets. I'm going to look at Mars. I'll put it in the center. And where is the, yeah, okay. It should go right to it now. Yes, it's going to. It's not going to go around. See, the reason I have to do that is because the telescope always wants to go east. It wants to travel east. And if you are east of the object, it won't travel west. It's star sensing now. That's a little higher in the sky, easier to get to. And it looks like it's positioned. It looks like it's positioned. And it is. Yeah. It's dead center. What is going on? This is great. I mean, I'm not complaining. This is fantastic. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to do this because I haven't done this before. I'm going to put the high power eyepiece in. I'm going to slew to Saturn and see if it puts it in the center, or, you know, in the field of view. And yeah, Mars is in the field of view right now, so it should be. Yeah. Oh, this is great. Okay, let's go to Saturn. Do the same thing. I'm on the 9mm, you know, the high powered eyepiece. I hope this isn't completely, you know, boring for people. Sun and planets. Okay, we're going to go to Saturn, and we're going to go to, and here we go. Go to. And I expect it to be in the center of the 9mm eyepiece because it was dead center last time. It's right next to a star named Phoebe, by the way, which is interesting, which I cannot see at all. I can see Saturn. I can see I mean, it's up pretty high in the sky now. And Mars is there. Jupiter is in the same kind of general area as Mars. It's just on the horizon. Okay, so it just did its star sensing thing, and it looks like it's in the right position. I think she stopped moving. Let's see. Are we? Nothing. It's not there. It's not in the field of view of the 9mm. That's disappointing. Let's go back to the 20. It's not in the 20. What is going on? I want to move the telescope away, tell it to align again. Whoops. Tell it to go to again. See, this is the problem. You got to have repeatability. And the way to approach is it goes back and then forward, you know, in order to compensate for backlash is a good thing. But, you know, hysteresis in any system is just, it can be a big problem. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. What's going on? I see it. It's off to the side a little bit, but I see it. There it is. Gosh, it's in the 9mm. What is going on? Saturn's in the 9mm. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Whoops. Oh, I goofed that up. Okay. So I'm going to go back to Mars with the high power eyepiece. That was weird. See, I did the go-to, it went all the way. It did the the backlash correction, and it wasn't in the eyepiece in either one actually. So I just moved it. It was very close by, but I moved it, and then I told it to go to again, and then it was in the eyepiece. So that means that it's there's hysteresis going on. All right, now it's coming up to Mars. It's looking pretty good. Star sensing, and let's see. Looks like it went to the right position. I don't see it. Oh, it's almost dead center in the wide angle. But the problem is it's really narrow field with this one. Oh, no, I see it. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Yeah, it is there. Oh, you know what? It probably wasn't done moving. It slows down at the very end, and I may actually have inadvertently screwed that up, and with the going to Saturn a minute ago. That may just have been me being stupid and not really not waiting for it to finish. That's happened. When it's slewing and it goes to an object, it can approach it really, really slowly. Okay, well this is good. This is right in the middle. This is fantastic. And the seeing is not so good. I'm resolving a disc, but it's kind of fuzzy, And every time you touch the telescope, it wobbles and it moves. You gotta not touch it, and then a lot of atmospherics going on. So at this point, I think I'm gonna call it a night with a telescope, because I think I have done everything I can do with it. I think I have calibrated it to the degree possible. Start guiding. We'll see what happens. I'm going to sit out here for a little while longer. I don't think I'm going to spend the night out here, though. I did spend the night out here a couple nights ago. I set up the I was going to do a live stream on Thursday, but right up here against the fence on the roof, I set up my portable movie screen. Bungee cords and everything. It's great. Brought my projector up here, and there's an app on Android. We're talking about Android TV, called Old Movies, and it's just a front end for their YouTube channel. But their YouTube channel has a bunch of old movies. They're really great. And I saw a movie with Jane Russell called The Young Widow, and it was an amazing movie. It's really great, well acted, and great storyline. But oh, my voice. There you go. That's tension. I'm rocking my larynx back and forth, and you hear this clicking with the mic, right? It's terrible. It sounds gross, but it already feels better. Vocal tension kills everything, man. Oh.
And you keep doing that, and then it stops making that noise and stops making that. Yeah, you hear that it's clearer already. All right. So, but what that movie, made me realize is that we really haven't had to deal with wartime issues much like they did, back then. And something my mother told me, because my mother ditched my father. She never should have done that, and she admitted she made a big mistake. She got bored with my dad because he was predictable. He was an engineer, and he would just home every night. And anyway, my mom was a professional entertainer. It's a long story, but the point being that I was talking to her, because she just flat out told me she was dating a guy that was like 25 years younger than her, because she said there's a huge gap, men my age, a lot of them died in the war. And I'm like, yeah, I guess they did. And eventually she admitted she never should have divorced my dad, but of course it was 40 years too late. All right, thanks to everyone who joined or who might be lurking in the background, and I appreciate it. I know you guys are going to watch the replay. Didn't really have a chance to talk about a whole lot. Talked a little bit about Da Vinci and Insta360. I was mostly goofing around my telescope, and I hope it wasn't too boring, but I wanted to show you the app and how the thing runs, and what it looks like, when it's slewing to targets, and how you can locate them and things. And yeah, it's just, one more thing I'm interested in, and one more thing that takes time, but I also get a lot out of it. Just tonight being able to, I looked at Ceres, which is an asteroid of all things, and I saw I saw Saturn and Mars, and I looked for some comets, but they're too dim, and this is too bright. I saw a couple of, little clusters, and I always enjoy seeing, the big famous stars, the big bright ones, Sirius, Vega, Arcturus, Capella, Deneb. Took a look at Deneb tonight. You can't see a disk, they're pinpoints of light, but they're familiar friends, and I just really like, it's celestial beauty is just, to me, it's just spellbinding, is awe-inspiring, So I enjoy that very, very much. And hopefully, I'm yawning. Hopefully when I go to the island this weekend, I can get some pictures that I can share with you guys. I'll have to use Prism Live Studio to do that, but yeah. And while I'm here, yep, we're not tracking. Gosh, I have no idea why we're not tracking. There's something wrong, and I don't know what it is, but I'll get to the bottom of it. All right, you guys, take care so much. Thank you for joining. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to reconnect to the camera. We've been on for an hour and 13 minutes. So thank you so much for joining, everyone, and for your support of the Real Taiwan. And look for a new channel with Mr. Kilo and I real soon. We're going to find some time in the coming week to do some photography as sort of a test, just to see what it looks like in a particular location and take it from there. So with that, I'll say good evening, and this live stream ends now.